So I just wanted to do a quick comparison of Xero shoes, Thong, sandals. Those are very, very similar, but they do have some key differences you should know about. I will make a full comparison, including the Z-Trail EV and the Z-Trek. But for now, let's just talk about the sandals here because I'm running out of time, and I will make a new video comparing all of them. So, what is the difference? You have the Genesis, you have the Cloud, and you have the Aqua Cloud. So I'm sure you, first of all, you're gonna know Cloud or Aqua Cloud. What's the difference? The Cloud is basically kind of discontinued from what I gather. They have a few colors, but they're basically done. And the reason is that the Aqua Cloud is basically better in every way. Problem is I cannot exactly compare only those two because there are similarities between those and the Genesis. Okay, so let's talk about what's shared among those guys. First of all, the laces. You cannot really tell, but the Cloud laces are hard. There is no elasticity whatsoever. They're not the best, but I mean they're stable, but I don't know. I don't think I prefer them. On the Aqua Cloud, the laces are elastic. They still feel kind of hard, but when you wear them, they're elastic. And they're basically the same as on the Genesis. So those are thicker laces that when you wear them give you a lot of elasticity. Now let me talk about sizing real quick. Those are 44s, those are 43s. I wear 44.5 in regular Xero shoes, but I wear 43 in sandals. Why? Because I downsized the 44 and this is too long. When you have a sandal, like in general with sandals you should size down, but when you have a sandal that is that thin, trust me, you want this to be snug on your foot, otherwise you're gonna trip and fall and suffer and hurt your feet and embarrass yourself and damage the sandals. It's horrible. Do not go for the longer size. This I haven't worn in years. Why? Because the sizing is wrong. I have to sell it eventually, but whatever. So we go with the snugger size. When I put on my Genesis and same with my Aqua Clouds now, even though I haven't really used those yet. When I put them on, when my foot is in the air, the laces are tight enough that they actually contort this thin sole and it looks like it's small for my foot, but when it steps down, it's sized perfectly. And you can see this in my other videos featuring the Genesis. So the laces, Genesis and Aqua Cloud, they have the same exact laces. But what about the soles? Well, in that case, Genesis and the regular Cloud have the exact same soles. They're pretty flat, so they're good for pavement, but they're very shallow. So do not expect those to do well off-road. They can do okay, but as you've seen in my videos I did in Mykonos, I would slip around, like, you know, on the like off-road trails and dirt roads and stuff. They get sandy in the summer heat. You just slip around with this. If it's uphill, you gotta slip around. It's a terrible experience. So not exactly the best tread for off-roading. It's more of a hybrid sole. Even though it looks like an off-road sole, this is a hybrid sole. Those lugs are way too shallow. They're nice and flat, so they feel fine on the road, but they're way too shallow. Yeah, Cloud and Genesis have the same lugs. Now let's talk about the footbed. The Cloud introduced this anti-slip footbed. This is basically a foam. I think maybe I prefer the no foam on the Genesis. This is just plastic, like caoutchouc. I'm not sure what it is. I think this feels amazing and it's good for summer because it doesn't absorb sweat or whatever. It's just good old plastic with some thread here for some traction. But you get those wet, you're done. Seriously, you're done. I tried to leave a beach with wet feet. I've done just go up a wet road, like a wet dirt road with uphill. You're gonna be slipping around, and especially if you have to climb some rocks and stuff, you will be slipping around. It is fine. I've done it fine with it, you know, like a waterfall, but that was only because it was so tight and there was nowhere to go. But I wasn't comfortable with all the stress I was putting on the laces and with the general instability. I would not gonna wear those on a wet slippery hill with wet feet because I'm pretty sure I would die. So this helps. And when it comes to the Aqua Cloud, this goes all the way down, of course, to give you more traction. Now, does it make a difference? I'm not sure. I haven't tried the Clouds yet in the wet or at all, but especially in the wet, but I think it will make some difference. They have the cup here in the back, both the Cloud and the Aqua Cloud. The Genesis doesn't have that. This is a more simplistic sandal. This is basically their do-it-yourself kit, but ready to go. That's the way I like it. I don't want to freaking do it myself, sorry. But when it comes to those guys, you have the protection in the back. I think this is basically absolutely useless because your heel will probably extend beyond that in many cases. And it also traps stones inside. You get a stone here, you're gonna try to take it off while you're walking or running, it's not gonna get stuck here. So I don't think that's a good idea. Maybe it adds some traction if you like going uphill and your feet are wet and it's slipping a bit. Maybe this will hold you, but whatever, I think it's a problem. Other than that, let's talk about the tread on the Aqua clouds. When you see the pictures, you're like, okay, this has sipes. It makes sense because it's for the wet. The sipes will help it to grip to like wet surfaces, suck in the water and help it grip. But what's actually, this is different than what you think. I was very surprised when I see it. First of all, I thought those would be very soft. And those are not soft at all. Trust me, those are hard lugs. They're not soft. But good news, they're very grippy, so you're fine. And further on, when it comes to the good news, okay, those are hard, so they will last a while. That's a good thing. You can use it on pavement. All around, you can use it for anything you like. You don't have to go in the water. Unlike what I thought they would be too soft and I would only use them when you go in the water. But no, they're hard. But other than that, they probably have double the height and the depth of the regular clouds and of the Genesis. This is not the same sole at all. It has a similar tread pattern, obviously it has the chevrons, but they're much deeper, which means you will get better traction off-road. Now, granted, it is not, what is that? It is not a freaking Z-Trail EV sole, which is absolutely badass and you can take anything on, but it is deeper, and I think this will be fine because this is probably the perfect depth. This is flat enough to do well on the road, but it's deep enough to do well off-road. Well, these guys, those are basically road shoe, maybe they're hybrid, but whatever. Those are deeper. So they're deeper and they have the chevrons, so they will be nice off-road and they will be nice in the wet. They're very sticky. I tried them on pavement. Only the Z-Trail EV is similar stickiness. These are extremely sticky from what I've seen. And also they have these ends here from the back, just like the Z-Trail EV also has those guys. You see those in hiking boots and stuff. They will help with traction when you like. Basically, when you're sleeping, this will catch you, so you don't sleep completely off, and the front will dig in like on an uphill and stuff. It is a great design. It is basically a hybrid sole, similar to the philosophy of the Z-Trail EV. It's not just the chevrons like on the Genesis and the regular cloud, but you have the chevrons and then some of that just like you do here. But of course those are far deeper lugs. I will be talking about those in a different video. So yeah, you have big lugs with sipes, with those endings here, and footbed, anti-slip, nice and easy. Good laces from the Genesis. They will do the job if you have them tight enough, so they're fine. The laces are fine, and it looks good. That was discounted color, 36 euros. Oh my god, this is steal. They also have some more regular colors, but those look very good, trust me. Maybe they look even better than the Genesis, because you know the Genesis is understated, but that kind of makes it look like it's not even there. It kind of makes it look like you're barefoot. But while these ones, because they're nice and thick and nice and bright, they pop out more, so it looks more like, you know, this guy is wearing a sandal. He's not wearing around with a weird thong between his toes. I don't know, it just seems to look more normal. Now that I look at it, there is a chance those are a bit thicker, but it's very marginal. It's basically the same kind of lacing. So yeah, which one should you get? Well, if you do anything in the water, you go to the beach, whatever, you want some traction in the wet, this is an amazing option. If you never ever touch water, maybe you're living up a mountain, whatever, maybe there are no lakes and whatever when you're from, the Genesis is also amazing. It is the most minimalist sandal they make. There is no footbed to get sweaty and gross. There is no cap in the back to restrict any of your foot movement or annoy you or trap stones inside. It is bare bones. It is thinner than the Aqua Cloud because the lugs are shallower and there is no anti-slip footbed. This is an amazing, I absolutely love this sandal, honestly. And if you don't want a thong, you can just get the regular Z-Trek. So yeah, this is an amazing option. This is an amazing option for the wet. And this is a hybrid of the two. Up to you which one you're gonna get. I couldn't tell you. They're all great. Get the one you find in the best price. Get the one you like the most physically. And you will be fine. I don't see how you would struggle with any of them. Overall, like objectively, the Aqua Cloud is the better sandal. It has the better lugs, deeper lugs with sipes, and some variation here on the sole. It has the anti-slip footbed, good laces, looks good. Of course, extremely flexible and stuff, extremely thin, just like the Genesis. Will do better off-road because Genesis does not do good off-road. If you want to go off-road, like in sandy, very, very dry environments, you might struggle a bit. Or you might slip around. This will be a tiny bit better because the lugs are a bit bigger. So, it is a great option. I think objectively, this is the newest model of them. And I think it's the best model objectively. But if you just want an absolute beater of a shoe, just get this guy. As minimal as possible. Sole durability is insane. It's nice and hard, nice and flat. Doesn't care about hot pavement, whatever. You can just go anywhere with it. And the Cloud is the Cloud. Just a hybrid between those two, basically. So yeah, that's it for now, guys. I will be making a total comparison between, including the Z-Trail and Z-Trek. Those are the sandals. Looking good. I'm gonna see you in the next one, guys. See ya.